Hey everybody, Dave Neal here. It is time for voicemails. It is Voicemail Sunday. Your chance to call in whatever voicemails you have regarding Bachelor Nation or any other topics in the world. We're here to talk about it. We're hanging out. We're preparing that beef stew for dinner tonight. We're trying to catch up on all the activities we forgot about this past week. So anyways, let's enjoy our Sundays here and play a couple voicemails. I only have 4. I got 4 voicemails, and then we'll move it right along. Let's jump right into Gina from St. Louis.
Hi, Dave. This is Gina calling from St. Louis. I'm watching your live stream. It's Friday, May 14th right now, and I'm watching your live stream from yesterday, talking about how mentors should be on the show. Sorry, I suck at talking. And it just made me think of another ABC show, American Idol, right now, and how they have Ryan Seacrest as the host of the show, and then they brought in Bobby Bones 2 seasons ago to be a mentor. And then they also bring in mentors all the time. So I think that would be a good addition and change up the show a little bit. Bye, Dave. See ya.
Thank you,
I hope
Gene.
it was 30 seconds. We'll find out.
Hey,
Bye.
that was 45 seconds, which is totally fine. Tell me what you need to get off your chest, and if it takes longer than a minute, so be it. Thank you so much, Gina. Listen, the idea of a mentorship is great. What's funny though with American Idol is they need mentors because they have a skill set, which is performing through their vocals on national TV. Versus, of course, Bachelor. Their skill set is trying not to let a cold sore break out because of stress when they're on a TV show. You know what I mean? Boy, that would be the most inopportune time for that to happen. It's like, look, I'm in love with you, but this thing, I'll just vote myself out. You just take the rose off. You're like, we're done here. Yeah, I love the idea of mentors. I think for Bachelor, you don't need a mentor for the art of what are the ins and outs of dating? How should I act on this group date? You really just need a friend to talk to who's also not trying to bump Harrison's with the other people. That's a funny part of the show. There'll be 10 girls there, and there'll be one girl trying to console the other, and she's like, it's all right, boo, maybe, whatever. And then the other one's like, no, you're trying to bang that person too. We need, there's, it can be kind of complicated there when you're after the same prize. And that's kind of why we watch the show, right? Because, it's I'll take it back to Katie Thurston here, because she posted this photo over the weekend having a blast, and she was with Anna Redman. And this made news. Could you believe it? I mean, this made news that she was with Anna Redman. And, that's the wrong clip there. But Anna Redman, it was they were close to, they were bullies. Anna was considered the bully, and Katie was sort of, on the outs. And there was fighting that was going on. And, they just were able to squash their beef. Mainly because Katie won. Let's be honest. Katie Thurston won in the sense that she's now the next top dog. So in the hierarchy of Bachelor Nation, Anna's kind of got to swallow whatever beef she had with Katie, because that's just how it works. You go, you got, everyone goes after each other, then Katie gets announced as the next Bachelorette, and everyone's DMing each other sorry, boo, I was just playing, you know how it is. And, it's come on. That's how it works. You befriend people you might know. Not to say that Katie's not worth squashing the beef there and all that, but there's always the dynamic between you're the popular kid now. But hopefully Anna, learned a little bit about herself, because Anna was involved in several controversies on the show, along with outing Brittany Galvin, which is kind of insane. I've always said this. It's insane that topic didn't create more news. The idea that you could take something, not even having concrete evidence, and say hey, I heard you're an escort. And it's whoa, that's one thing to say that to a friend. And I think that's what they forget on the show. When you can say something to your friend I heard he's cheating on his wife. That's one thing to say to a friend. But when you say something like that, that's on national TV without some sort of concrete evidence, you're kind of saying the same. It's the same loaded question oh, did you stop beating your wife? You're implying something so that the audience is all whoa, when did you start? We need to know this. And unfortunately, the thing with humanity is individually we're pretty smart people, but the more we clump together with others, the more we get this mob mentality that's actually way dumber than the individual. It's very interesting. So for Anna Redman to sort of talk about maybe that Brittany Galvin was an escort or whatever, maybe her hearing it from a friend, that's not good enough evidence. That's not good enough evidence to levy on someone on national TV. And then, of course, what happens next is that, news organizations run with it. They tease it, ABC, Bachelor, they leave it in the edit. And it's like, are we supposed to be, a respectable show here? Are we going to just squash these people? And, of course, Brittany Galvin, she's on an NDA, so she can hardly deny it. It's a whole issue. But I guess, look, Anna and Katie, they squashed the beef. And so that was a long way to go from your voicemail. But, essentially you're saying mentors. Yeah, they need mentors. They need people they can talk to. Caitlin Bristow, Tayshia Adams. Caitlin's like I don't know the age. Caitlin's a little bit older, so she's like a nice older mentor. And Tayshia's the type that's like, I was just there a couple months ago. I know exactly what you're going through. I can talk to you about it. I think they'll be great as far as mentors go. And I think it's great for every season. Who would you have be a mentor for the Bachelorette? So right now on Bachelorette, we've got Caitlin Bristow and Tayshia Adams. They're going to be kind of there to co-mentor Katie Thurston, but who do we have there to mentor the guys? Who do we have there? Who would be a good guy to talk to these guys? Ed would be a nice, harmless guy to talk to. Leave a comment. Let me know who you think would be a good mentor for the men. Sharon from Central Valley, you're next. Let's hear from you.
Hey, Dave. It's Sharon from the Central Valley. Just wanted you to know whenever I leave a comment, it comes under Awesome at Mark, who is my husband, but it's me leaving the comments, not him.
Nice.
So Awesome at Mark on comments, Sharon from the Central Valley on voicemail. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that it just dawned on me why you have grown in popularity so quickly. This thought just came to me today. First, you interact with your audience and you allow us to leave voicemails that you play on the air, and you read our comments on the air, and you have even called people back on air. And people love that about you because you engage with your audience. Other people who are recapping reality shows, all we can do is to listen, watch, or read their content. But you are actually allowing us to be part of the content. So we love that about you.
There you go.
We get really excited when you play our voicemails or read our comments on air. And I think it is especially fun when you agree with something that we said, or when one of our particular comments sparks a conversation. I feel like it's like we are all having a conversation and you are facilitating it. So that's why I think people love you and why you have grown in popularity so quickly. So thank you for doing it the way you do it, and we will all keep tuning in. Thanks, Dave. Once again, Sharon from the Central Valley. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sharon from Central Valley. And thank you to your husband who lets you use his YouTube channel. That would throw off my algorithm. If I let Tasha use my YouTube channel, it'd be all dog videos and, soldiers coming home from war, hugging their kids. I mean, that's already what I watch. What am I kidding? But this would be a bad time to tell you I'm canceling the voicemail. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. The thing is, and it's no knock on other recap channels. I just figured out how to do it. It's not rocket science, but I have the equipment now where I can take phone calls. And if you guys remember, just a couple months ago, I didn't know if anyone would ever call. So it's been mind blowing to have you guys call. It's been mind blowing to know your names and where you're calling from. Sharon in Central Valley, Pam, we've got Emily, and Oz, of course, the moderator. We've got so many people that call in. Sometimes you call into my direct number and I answer. Looking at you, cousin, hanging out Leah in Michigan. We've got Mom, call me back. Somebody get in touch with me. We've got Josh in Boston trying to score one with Piper. There's a lot of people that call in, and you guys are all great. To say it's a conversation, it kind of goes back to for me as stand-up comedy. With stand-up comedy, there's different types of comics. There's crowd work comics who like to talk to the audience and let that roll into a bit. And then there's comics that kind of put up the wall and just present their jokes, and it's more like theater than it is the back and forth. And I'm kind of like a little bit of both. I like to present my opinions, my ideas, but I love to listen to you guys. Not having an assistant or a producer off camera to funnel the phone calls to me. It can become kind of crazy listening to phone calls, especially when I haven't even pre-screened them. I should get to a place where I start pre-screening them, just because if I'm listening to phone calls on air and someone says something horrendous, I should be more careful to. Usually, when someone calls, it'll show me the text, the predictive text. So sometimes it'll show me that there's a swear word coming up, and it's okay if a swear word slips out, but not a racially driven thing. There's certain things where I'm let's just, I've learned to try to do a better job of making sure that I'm presenting something that's fair, but also not, with my channel, the last thing I want is to rile up any hatred. And it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I'll get on board once in a while, and there'll be a story, and I'll be like, I'll take the bait. I'll take the bait on Matt James being a piece of crap, a paramecium, as some have called him, because of what happened with Grace and this and that. And then you got to just unwind it and go, okay, let's just get away from this mob mentality. Let's think about how he's been wronged and what he's going through and how the media is manipulating him. And, I think if I've learned anything from you guys, from the audience, it's that playing up to people's intelligence is something that might be underserved amongst other recappers. A lot of people want to say, like, this is the truth, and we need to just, like, hate on this person. And the truth that I'm learning is the way that the media doesn't operate, which is that it's more complicated. We need to critically think. We're probably better served by not just picking sides and understanding that there's a nuanced conversation to be had. I think we want to have that across all spectrums of life, politically, in the news, but also when we talk about, like, the human condition. Oh, Claire, she's evil, the way she talks to so-and-so. No, she gets some anxiety, she has some flare-ups, and maybe she lashes out. But my dog does the same thing. I'm not comparing Claire to dogs, but my dog, yesterday, I cooked him a salmon dinner. Now, let me tell you something. He's got bad skin. His skin's, sometimes he gets very itchy and his skin gets kind of flaky. And I've read that giving him some, like, good food like salmon has the nice fish oils that can help with that. So what I did last night, and I do this every few months, is I'll make him a big salmon. I'll make him sweet potatoes, peas, carrots, and rice. I'll mash it all up. I bake the salmon. I make the rice in the rice cooker. And then I boil the sweet potatoes, carrots, and the peas. When I drain it all, I mash it all up, and it makes this, like, food that he goes nuts for. And I'll feed it to him for the week. I'll scoop it out and feed it to him all week long. Well, last night, I made him the salmon, but I didn't want him to eat it right away because it was too hot. And he doesn't know better, so he'll eat it, and then he'll throw it up, and then, no one gets anything out of it. So I had to keep the salmon away from him, but he already knew I controlled the salmon. Oh, boy, did he start getting mad. And I started giving him back to him because you got to assert your alpha male to your dog. So I started giving it back to him, and he starts showing me his teeth. He's like, I need that salmon. And he's all, and I'm, like, laughing at him because I'm like, this dog wants to fight me over the salmon I'm about to give him. But what I have to understand, and he's just in his, like, survival mode in that moment. So for him, survivor mode trumps all the bonds that him and I have. Because in the moment, he's like, I just need to eat that food. I'll bite your head off. But, like, what I really know, it's that, like, he's the most loving dog in the world. Go to my Instagram if you want to check him out, Boone the Basset. So the point is with all this is that Claire's lovely, but when the cameras were going, we got to see a side of her that flared up whatever past she had, her fight or flight mode, and whatever genetics, the DNA inside of her, rather than coming off as the lovable Claire that she probably normally is. It was like, how dare you talk to me that way? How dare you not want to date me? How dare you guys not want to jump out and talk? And it's like, come on, she's probably having a bad skin day. Like, it's about understanding that we're more complicated than whatever headshot we present to the world. And you understand that in your relationships, like I do, even with best friends. Even my sister and I got in a fight out of nowhere yesterday, and I had to be like, hey, Chase, I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm glad with all that you do. And, and it just comes down to remembering to treat our friends and family and our close people in our life as we would treat a stranger. A lot of times we treat strangers better than we would treat someone close to us. I don't know if that, but so the point is, with all that, is just understanding, like, common basic human decency and understanding that people are trying the best with the information they have. And sometimes when your limbic system is flared, your limbic system that kind of, I'll get you, I'll fight you for that salmon, just understand that's when you need to be like, okay, oh, this isn't, my heart's racing. I'm about to do something irrational. Let's go walk a block. Let's go pop an edible, smoke some weed. Let's go relax. Maybe we'll stretch our hamstrings. Literally just sitting there and breathing deeply and counting down 1 to 10, 10 to 1. Just doing that can calm you down to a place where you're not going to say something you'll regret. How many relationships would survive if we didn't have that flared up limbic system? I don't know, folks. Someone commented, they're like, Dave, you should go back and get your degree in psychology or something. I was like, no, I'm happy wearing my pajamas, talking to you guys online, doing stand-up comedy, getting people to sign up for my mailing list, free newsletter, comment below. I'm getting another one coming out this week, another newsletter coming out. Maybe it'll be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I don't know. You'll have to see. But sign up for that in the comment section and get prepared for the stand-up tour. We'd appreciate to see all of you guys there. But the point is that I think my calling, what I'm supposed to be doing, is connecting with you guys. And, we got from 2,000 subscribers to 31,000 subscribers in just a couple months. It's a little slow right now because it's before the next season. But my hope is by the end of the year, that hits 100,000 subscribers. I get the silver play button. I could care less about the number of subscribers. That's all ego. But what I love is the connection I made with you guys. I mean, some of you guys write in. Is it Adriana or Juliana? I'm sorry, I don't remember if it's Adriana or Juliana. You had brain surgery. You found out you had a tumor in your brain. I know that nurses that have contracted COVID and lost their job in their healthcare this year. Teresa's battle, going through chemo. You guys out there, Leah, you're training for a marathon. Everyone's got a different hurdle they're trying to get over in life. And the through line is I'm there with you guys, and that's amazing to me. It's quite the pressure on me to show up and do my best because I know that you guys are out there trying your best. And when we're all trying our best, we're giving each other that good positive energy. And I'll tell you what, that lasts a lot longer than watching some rubbernecking some car accident on the street. So I am here for you guys in the long haul. I'm invested in you guys, and I appreciate you guys returning that favor by giving me these great phone calls. I might start doing this. I might break down my voicemail episodes to individual clips. We'll have to see how it goes. Not everybody, some people, they get a little scared if there's a 30-minute video. So I might be playing with this strategy of breaking it down into 3 to 6 minute clips. For you guys, it shouldn't make much more of a difference. You can click and choose what you want to watch. But to the YouTube algorithm, rather than just saying voicemails, it might be interesting to say, voicemail about X, Y, and Z. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let's play the next voicemail. Jeff.
Hi, this is Sheriff here.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is so funny. The predictive text said Jeff was up next. This is Sheriff Oz, everybody, our moderator in chief, calling in from Vancouver. All right, Sheriff, you are up.
Hi, this is Sheriff here. Happy week on an 85-degree day here in Vancouver.
Woo.
I'd just like to congratulate my fellow Vancouverite, Caitlin Bristow, and Buffalo's own Jason for getting engaged. It's really a great thing, and I'm happy for them. And I was gonna say that I like on Go to Court I have it that Caitlin's parents are permanent residents of Mexico.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that's what I found out on Go to Court. So that's how they were able to get out of Canada. They've been out of there for at least more than 6 months. So they're permanent residents of Canada, and it's easy to get permanent residents of Mexico with a little bit of money. Just the 411
Good to
tip
know.
right there, and have a good weekend, everyone, and we'll see you on Monday. And Dave, enjoy the sun in LA as well. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Oz. Actually, it's probably warmer where you are than it is here in Los Angeles. It's like cloudy and 70. But yeah, thank you so much, Oz. We'll see you tomorrow for the live stream at 4 p.m. Let's go. I believe this is Australia. Let's see if Australia is calling in.
Hey, David, mate, how you going? It's your favourite little Aussie here. Just wanted to say sorry, I missed a couple of your episodes and that I started a new job. I was hoping to listen to you today, but I have to train someone, which, go figure. But you're doing an excellent job. I'm a Patreon now, so I can't wait for us to have a little chat and keep going. And your little Colton thing was funny. Bye.
Well, thank you so much. So what's your point calling in from Australia? Always a pleasure to have you. Yeah, I can't believe how many people, now that you've joined the Patreon, thank you so much for subscribing to the Patreon. Sheriff's been on the Patreon for several years. And let's see, I'm trying to go to my published posts here. But the thing is with the YouTube channel is that I'm not saying I have to be careful what I say, but there are sometimes it's not the time or the place to talk to you guys on the YouTube channel about the behind the scenes things that are going on. Just because it might not fit into, what we're talking about. But the Patreon here is where I put all of my bonus audio and video. I can't believe it. I do a bad job of promoting my podcast, the SAP, Sex Actually Podcast. You can find the SAP anywhere. I do it every week. It's about dating and relationships and communication. It's kind of like what the voicemail episodes are, but it's me ranting, Tasha, guests that we have on. Well, we do the private episodes on Patreon, and I've got, probably over 100 of these at this point. And if you sign up, you get a monthly membership where you can just access all of the content here. And it's actually been very interesting how many people have signed up. We're at 42 patrons, which isn't a big deal, but we were at like 20 before this year. So we've already doubled just by me promoting it to you guys. And it really does help out. It's kind of like the fund that I use to fund all of the subscriptions and technology, the microphone, all these things that, $400, this, that, the cameras, it all adds up. So the Patreon's kind of the way that that's done. So for people that do like to donate and be a part of that private membership, that's where you can do it. I will tell you, this last episode is called Info I Can't Share on YouTube. It's not super juicy. It's just stuff I can't share on YouTube. It's the behind the scenes stuff. Past Bachelor alumni contacting me, current bachelorettes and people contacting me and what they're saying and all the information. And basically, like I said, info regarding my work as an independent Bachelor commentator. That's what I am. I don't have a boss. Because of that, I got to take risks and try different things and see what works and what doesn't. Before we get out of here, I will share with you 2 other stories. I don't think these won't become stories on the, oh, maybe they will. I don't know, but I think I'll just share them with you guys today. And if these pick up any extra heat, I will share them with the main audience during the week. But Colton Underwood stories, people asked him questions. Boy, I can't imagine the questions he got that he's not posting. But someone posed this question to him. You're sent to prison. Would you rather do 1 year or until you finish a Rubik's Cube? He said it would probably take me a year to do the Rubik's Cube, so either one. Now listen, I know people that can do the Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds. I'm not saying, if someone gave me a Rubik's Cube and said, I'll give you $1 million if you can solve this in under a day, I think I could solve it in under a day. I think you could figure it out. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe there's a secret to it. But either way, interesting that someone posed this question to him, considering his the crimes he was being charged with, which is planting a tracking device on somebody else's car, serve up to a year in prison. It would be fun to give a prisoner a Rubik's Cube and be like, all right, as soon as you can solve this, you can leave here. And, I'm sure some people like that are smart enough to be like, great, done. And then others will be like, you know what? This is a life sentence. All right, what else do we have here? I think there was one more. Yeah, someone had mentioned to me on a post that they heard a rumor that Nick Viall was going to be the next host of Bachelor in Paradise. And this is no knock on Nick Viall. I don't even know if he wants to. I mean, maybe he would want the job. I don't know. There's something kind of nice about being like on the commentator side of it, where you can critique the show and all that and not be on the produced show. Maybe he would enjoy it. But the whole this article was from like yesterday, right? Or, yeah, this is from yesterday, May 15th. The whole article's hogwash. Of course, it's showbizcheatsheet.com, so what do we expect here? We're not winning Pulitzers, no offense. But the whole article is just fluff because he went to Mexico for Ben Higgins' bachelor party last week. So basically, they took a half-baked rumor and turned it into a story. But isn't that what I do? All right, folks. So anyway, to answer someone's question that DM'd me today, no, I don't believe Nick Viall will be the next host. In this article, it also says that Chris Harrison will not be the host for either Bachelorette seasons, which, send me a message on Instagram, DM me at DNeals if you know. But I have not heard at all that that there's going to be an issue with... or I haven't heard any commitment whatsoever after this current season of The Bachelorette. As far as I know, we don't know who's going to be hosting Bachelor in Paradise, and we certainly don't know who's going to be hosting Bachelorette in the fall with Michelle Young. I've gone back and forth and talked to a bunch of people about this, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, to say the least. But I think in most cases... usually stories sort of die down, and then, ABC and Bachelor, I think they thought the initial rage against Chris Harrison was going to die down before the current season. I don't think they had any plans whatsoever to step him aside because, while he said he's stepping aside, the facts were they were having him step aside. It does make you wonder this. If Chris Harrison hadn't said he was stepping aside, would it have fed more outrage, or would it be the end of it? With Trump, he refused to apologize for anything, and because of that, he didn't really face many consequences. Now, other people have apologized, and then when you I put it this way, I think apologizing when you feel like you've done something wrong is good and healthy, and that's what you should do. But at some point, you have to say, hey, look, now I feel like the bell has swung, or the pendulum has swung too far. I've apologized. I'm moving forward. And what'll be interesting is if Chris Harrison takes that stance, or if he lets it all be settled in the court with power attorney Brian Friedman. We'll have to see how it all plays out. A lot of times when you have these nuanced conversations, people want to sort of like tell you that, you're in the wrong because, no, we've canceled him, so, whatever. But it's going to be an interesting conversation, and we're going to have to see. ABC and The Bachelor can only, kick this can down the road for so long. Pretty soon, they're going to have to make a stance. How long will Chris Harrison let Bachelor, the producers, have him stepped aside before he goes in and says, you know what, this is wrongful termination, and it's going to get into the legals. I for sure don't think, if I had to bet money on it, I do not think Chris Harrison will go quietly, because this is his cash cow. He's already kind of got his name smeared as it stands. Not to say it wasn't rightfully deserved, folks, but this is the conversation we're having if you're looking at it from his point of view. And it makes you wonder, why would he just give, and people go, well, he's made millions, he can walk away. That's just not how it works. That's not how it works. Whether he made millions or not, I can't imagine he's got, FU money for the rest of his life, versus if he does another 5 to 10 seasons of Bachelor, he's set. So looking at it from his perspective, there's no way in hell he's going to let these Bachelor producers, who have also made a ton of money and have also been a part of the problem. We have to understand, Chris Harrison wasn't alone on the island as part of the problem. Bachelor producers were and are as well. So if they're given the grace to make the changes they need to make because they're not the figurehead, if you're Chris Harrison, you have to think you're going to be fighting a pretty lengthy court battle, or, and I think this is the only amicable solution, is that Bachelor producers bring Chris Harrison back, but with a diverse panel of mentors, maybe rotating in and out, maybe a co-host to help the show out. So it's not just Chris Harrison as the figurehead. I think that's the way that everyone gets a little bit of a victory in the whole thing. I don't know, folks. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for all of your voicemails. It means the world to me. If anyone wants to call in, I can play that at the next live stream, or I'll just play it whenever I can. And of course, the voicemail number is 401-213-9828, 401-213-9828. The Patreon link will be below. The vlog channel, great new vlog, probably my favorite vlog I ever made, below. And there's new content coming at you guys every day this week. So if you haven't yet already done so, hit the subscribe button, bump your Harry on the like button, and I will see you guys later on. Time to go make that beef stew. Bye, guys.